When I first started, I was more into playing like soul music and jazz. It was before the electronic thing really took off, and it all started just I was going to clubs and I was hearing this music, and I wanted to play the music and do my own clubs. And then exactly the same thing happened when the house thing came around. And I remember going to one party and just like, it was the first time I'd heard like house music. And it was in like this warehouse in London. I remember walking in, there was like this mad laser show and lights and really heavy bass, you know. I'd never heard a sound system like that before. And it was like, wow, that's for me. I've got to do shit like this. For me, you know, my point of view of dance music is that it's something that should be really enjoyed by people, but at the same time, people should listen and learn. It's not just about going out and taking drugs and dancing all Saturday night. You know, there's, you know, if music gives me goosebumps, then that's a really good thing. When I was asked by Florida to do a CD for them, it was, I felt very privileged, you know, because Florida is one of my favourite clubs, and I was being entrusted with sort of moving the Florida name onwards, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about the tracks that I'm going to put on the CD. You know, there's one house CD, there's a techno CD, but I'm trying to, in a way, it's almost impossible to recreate a session from the club. But I'm trying to give people a flavour of the music that I'm really passionate about, and the music I know has always worked at Florida. So it gives me the opportunity to really express myself and express my respect, if you like, for Florida as a club, because you know it's not just about my selection and what people think about it. It's also about my selection in terms of what it means to Florida as well. So you know, there's a lot of tracks on there. Some of them are completely new and unreleased, but I know they're Florida type tracks. Some of them are quite old, but I've had fantastic moments at Florida playing them. You know, every record gives me goosebumps, and that's, you know, when a record gives you goosebumps, because music is about emotion, and if a record gives you goosebumps, then it's a good record, man. Whether it's trance or jazz or drum and bass or soul, if something raises goosebumps, then it's got the right elements in it. And I'd like to think that pretty much every track that I've used on the album does that to people. I want them to cry, I want them to laugh, I want them to shout and scream, you know. I want them to be hypnotised by it, affected by the emotion. Because I was trying to express a lot of different styles of music and incorporate, you know, different styles that I've played at Florida, I used Final Scratch because it gave me the opportunity to play a lot of music that hadn't been released. And I sent out an email to about 3,000, it was a crazy story. I sent out an email to about 3,000 people saying, I'm doing the mix CD for Florida, can you send me new music? So that went out to 3,000 people. Pretty much every single person that got it passed it, because I put a little thing at the bottom, please forward to anyone you know. So pretty much every person passed it to like another 5 people, so that's 15,000. Then it goes on the website. In 2 weeks, I'd have 1,000 fucking records turn up in my house. The postman is like, you know, he's like, but it's great, and there's so much good music out there by people that I've never heard of, from countries that you would never assume would make, you know. There's a track from Turkey that I'm using on the album. It's like live drums, but with a really good, like, you know, sort of deep house vibe underneath it. And for me, that's really, you know, inspiring. That there's all this stuff out there that, you know, not everyone knows about. But you know, it's going back to what I was talking about earlier. That it's global. And using Final Scratch on the album has allowed me to, you know, not only to play new and unreleased music, but also make some edits of tracks that people know, and then I have my own exclusive version of it that I can use on the mix. So yeah, it's great. It's going to be, you know, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. You know, I'm very, you know, it was very important to me that the mix, you know, reflected how, you know, a night at Florida would be for me. You know, so it's cool. Enjoy.